You know what? I changed my mind. I was ready to go offline after streaming and then do like a post commentary review for NXT TakeOver Phoenix. The heck with it. Let's just do it right here, live and direct. Oh, we back? Yeah, we back, man. I just wanted to get this off while it's fresh so I don't have to go into the booth and start editing, and then next thing you know, the thing's out next week. Let's do it while it's fresh. Let's talk about NXT TakeOver Phoenix. And man, this was a great show with the ending that most of us saw coming. Hopefully all of us saw coming, but man, did that ending feel so good with Gargano and Ciampa. Oh man, it was so fire. Oh my god, so fire. Because it leaves us off with a really good taste in our mouths, right? Sound crazy. I can't say that out loud. Just damn, I can't edit that either. I'm kind of screwed on that. All right, my bad. All right, okay. LGBT wiser here. Okay, so let's start by saying this. In my stream, I gave my worst to best match, and there was no bad match on this show. But if I would have ranked these matches, and I'll go from first to last, I'm starting at the top with Shayna and Bianca Belair. To me, it was my match of the night. And the reason that it's my match of the night is because it fits the style of wrestling that I like. It checks off all the boxes. It checks off the boxes of storytelling, psychology, very good pace, the competitors that's in there, the storyline that goes into it, what comes out of it on the back end, how much it helps both of these women, what it builds for in the future. It encapsulated so much stuff into this one match. It was like, to me, if I was to draw out a perfect match, it'd be very close to this, especially from someone that is, I don't want to say as inexperienced as Bianca Belair, because she's not inexperienced anymore. She's been doing this for well over a year now, but this is her first time on a big stage, and she knocked it out the park. And Shayna, we know what Shayna brings to the table. She's used to it at this point. You know, there's no scared in her body. There's no scared in her bone. She's made for it. You know, she shows it time after time after time. She's made for it. One of the things that I like, well, I can't even say one of the things. There was so many different elements to this match. But something that I liked about it, and I said it in my prediction video, is that Bianca needs this loss so that she could feel what a loss feels like. She needs to understand what pain feels like. She needs to understand it so that she can come back stronger when it's her time to get the title. One thing that they've been building up with her so much is this undefeated streak, but if you paid close attention to it, her undefeated streak, there were some heavy names in there in the beginning that they never put her in front of, right? So she was beating a bunch of like blase, right? Did she beat a Kairi Sane? Did she beat a Io Shirai? She didn't beat any of them. It took her 3 chances to beat Nikki Cross. I mean, she beat Candice LeRae on the first shot out. And this is her first big match other than Nikki Cross. This is her first real, well, Nikki Cross is her first test, but this is her first, all right, here you go. The spotlight's on you. So her taking a loss here is like to show you, all right, you've been dealing with all the fodder. Now it's time to step up to the big stage. How are you going to perform? And with Shayna being as battle-tested as she is, she didn't have the respect for Bianca, nor should she have had the respect for Bianca. Look at everything that Shayna has gone through. She's gone through an Ember Moon, who had arguably the best finisher in NXT, and is a veteran and someone that was for a short amount of time carrying that women's division after Asuka. Again, a short amount of time. Shayna comes in, wins the title on her second match. She also had the thing where the Mae Young Classic, where she made it to the finals and loses to Kairi Sane. Comes into NXT, she beats the piss out of Kairi Sane. You know, then they have their Rumble in the Jungle. They go back and forth and trade wins, trade the title around. Women's Evolution, she's on that, so that's another big stage. Just multiple NXT takeovers in which Shayna is, I said this last year, they're going to build this thing around Shayna. She's going to be the bar. And that's what she is. That's her job. So when you have somebody that's ready to test that bar, like a Bianca Belair, it's like, okay, here's a fresh new upstart that's ready to come at you. She ain't going to respect it because everything she's gone through. But also at the same time, Bianca's just so fresh in the head. Like, oh man, you know, here's my shot. I'm not losing because I don't know how to lose. Well, now it's time to get knocked down the peg. And once you get knocked down that peg, how do you rebound from it? How do you come back? Because now, I've always felt as though Bianca never really had a story or character development. She's always just had this undefeated thing. But now since she's taken this loss, the important part is, how does she rebound? Now is where the real story of Bianca Belair begins. Her story ain't begin with the undefeated thing. That's just to put her name on the map. It's how she recovers from this loss against those three, which is going to determine how well her character is before she moves up to the main roster, which will probably be a while. They're gonna really put some gusto behind Bianca Belair, and it's all gonna start WrestleMania weekend. That's my match of the night. I didn't really get into the descriptives and the match breakdown and yada yada. Just know that it checks off all the boxes for what I like in the match, and it hit them all perfectly. Next match, my next favorite match on the card was the championship match with Tommaso Ciampa and what's the boy name? Aleister Black. This gets my second favorite match of the night because purely, I don't want to say storytelling because it wasn't really much of that. It was more so the psychology. I mean, the story was that Tommaso Ciampa said that Aleister Black is a one-trick pony. You take it away, his black mask, he doesn't stand a chance. Ultimately, that played into what the truth is in the psychology of the match. Go after his leg, go after his leg, go after his leg. And that entire match was centered around working this guy's leg. Now, there was a few times in which Aleister Black didn't do a good enough job selling. Well, he sold the leg. Let me not take that away from him. He sold the leg. But, and maybe this is in how the match goes, I don't think that the match allowed them a good enough chance to stay consistent with selling the leg. And I'll give you a spot for an example in which Aleister is, the leg's been worked, right? The leg's been worked. And I'll give you an even better one. So they've been working his leg, right? And Tommaso Ciampa has that concrete on the outside exposed. He has the mat pulled all the way up. And he's on the outside. He's going back and forth with the ref. He turns around. And what's his name? Aleister goes and hits a Meteora, knees on the concrete, right? He throws Tommaso back in the ring like it's nothing. And I believe he goes for, did he go for the black mass right there? I believe he went for the black mass. But like he's not selling his legs. After taking a complete beating on your legs, you do a Meteora which lands you right on your knee on the concrete. And you have enough to throw the guy in and hit another move? No, you shouldn't. You should be selling your leg. You shouldn't have the energy to throw him back in. But even with that being said, the match was still played out very well. It was very well played out, strategically placed. There's nothing other than Black's non-selling of legs or inconsistent selling of the leg that would hurt it a little bit, but it was such a minute point because of how well they worked this match. And I like the fact that it wasn't much back and forth to it. It really wasn't much back and forth to it because Tommaso Ciampa, like he said, you're a one-trick pony. He took it. One-trick pony is what I was saying, which was the story of this, right? So when he couldn't throw... And this actually reminds me of a spot from the previous match. And I'm gonna go back to the spot in the previous match because it plays into here as well. Where Tommaso is going for his finisher, and Black finally has enough energy to get out of it and go for the black mass, but he can't land it because, well, he ain't got the legs for it. So finally, everything that's been built up throughout the match finally culminated at the end when he tries to go for the black mass and he can't do it. And Tommaso told him, I'm going to take your black mass away from you. What else you got? And ultimately, he proved to him that he had nothing else. And not only that, Tommaso didn't win dirty. He won clean, no help. Even the concrete on the outside did nothing for Tommaso. He just won clean. I believe I predicted that in my prediction video. And the way that the show went off air. Oh, this shit made me hard. I had to end the stream. The way this went off air, you got Tommaso music playing. He's holding that title. He's going up the ramp backwards. And in the background, you see Johnny Gargano coming out with his belt. And they look at each other. They hold their titles in the air. And I'm just like... It's exactly what I said was going to happen. But just seeing it was like, yo, that's a dope moment. And even in my chat... you know, we have people saying, hey, we're going to get dark DIY. We also had, I believe someone else said that we're going to get Gargano and Ciampa title versus title, winner takes all. And I'm like, okay, right. And the thing that really brought it together with me is them together. If it's a dark DIY with them together, Tommaso's music makes it so perfect. So now it's like they have a babyface music and they have a heel music. And it, bro, I fanboyed for like at least 43 seconds. I fanboyed for 4. I might still be fanboying right now. Let me move on to what my next favorite match of the night was. And it was a tag team match between War Raiders and the Undisputed Era. And man, the way this match was going and the way the show was going, I was starting to think that it might end up being match of the night. But it ended up being third. This match was like watching like a destruction derby that just, it flew by. I think this match probably went about 18 minutes, and it felt like 5 minutes. And also it felt like watching Goldberg versus, somebody said in chat, it felt like watching Goldberg versus Lesnar 2 years ago at Mania. It just felt like it was just like boom, 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 boom. It's just non-stop. I don't think there was a single rest hole in this match. It wasn't. And it was just such a perfect clash between their styles. You have a powerhouse team, and then you have a technically sound team of jackals that just stay on you. How do you fight them off? Well, you just beat the piss out of them and throw them around. It worked. The styles and how they mesh just worked for me. And even though it felt like it was a match dominated by War Raiders, it actually wasn't. It was very competitive. But man, it felt good. By the way, quick shout out to the Velveteen Dream, because he made an appearance with 2 girls. He was Pimp, the Velveteen Pimp. Them 2 girls was low-key ugly though. They was weak. They gotta be wrestlers. They look like they wrestlers. They kind of trash. I ain't gonna hold you. They kind of trash. Moving along from that, what was my next favorite match? Ricochet and Johnny Gargano. That's a surprise to me. I expected different. I'm not gonna say I expected more out of this match. I expected a little bit different. I didn't expect so much flipping around. The flipping around was ridiculous. Like, okay, Ricochet, we know you could flip. What else can you do? You can throw a European uppercut, or you could throw this. What else you got? More flips, and just a lack of selling. And it might be Ricochet's lack of selling that I just couldn't get down with. And by no means was this a bad match. Great. This wasn't a bad match in my opinion. I didn't think this was a bad match. I just feel as though I wanted to see more variety in the match. And Gargano was bringing that variety, but it was a Ricochet flipping show. I really felt like it was just a show of flips and lack of selling. I mean, Gargano did what Gargano does. When he's on offense and the way he carries himself, even in the selling, he's believable. In his babyface mode, you can feel sympathy for him. I said this in my stream. I said, hey, name me the last time that you watch a Ricochet match in which you actually felt sympathy for him and he was a babyface. It's going to be hard for you to find it. The guy doesn't sell any damn thing. And I don't mean like he no-sells like he's the Undertaker, but let's say that he catches a move, he'll sell for all of 2 seconds. Next thing you know, he's back on offense. Here's an example. He fucking delivered, he gets a super kick right in the face. Take that, take that. The dude does a 720 on a super kick. I don't know how you do that. He gets super kicked, does a 720 flip, lands on his face. Oh, ow, that hurt. I swear on Jesus Sandals, you could press the 10-second rewind. Bro, within 5 seconds, he got Ciampa, he got Gargano in the Gargano Express. I'm like, whoa, wait, how we get here? Why? Slow down. Bro, sell what just happened. You did a 720 from getting super kicked in the face, and now you got this guy in the Gargano Express. I might bump this down to my... I don't like this match no more. I take it back. I don't like this match. Give me, what's that boy name? Give me Ohno and Matt Riddle above this. Give me, get Ricochet and Gargano the fuck out of here. I don't want him in here, bro. Get him out of here. I don't want it no more. I don't want it no more, and I might not even like Ricochet no more. I might not. I might not. Put the guy in the damn circus. Sell something, for crying out loud. How you did a 720 from getting super kicked in the face, and 2 seconds later, you got the guy that super kicked you. You have him in a Gargano Express. Get him the fuck out of here. He's got to go. Say goodbye to Ricochet. Okay, next. So that's bumped down to my not so much favorite match. Now we go with Kassius Ohno and Matt Riddle. It was a good match. Up until this man, Kassius Ohno, took Matt Riddle's feet. He spread his toes and he started licking his toes. Like, what's wrong? Why would you put another man's toes in your mouth? Voluntarily. He didn't kick him in the mouth. It wasn't a mistake. He picked up his foot. He spread his toes like these. He spread his toes. And he did all of that. I'm like, what? And then he sucked on his toes. I'm like, what we doing? You can't do that on the people watching this. This was softcore porn. This was softcore porn, yo. Softcore porn. Yeah, that's what it was. This was softcore anime porn. Why would he do that in public in front of people? That was nasty. He's nasty. Now he's nasty. I understand getting heat. If you want to get heat, find ways to get heat. This ain't the way to do it, beloved. This ain't the way. You was doing good getting heat the whole match. You don't go sticking another man, his feet, in your mouth after spreading his toes and licking between his toes. You don't do that. Come on, man. That killed the vibe for me. It killed it. Otherwise, other than that, it was an excellent match. Carried by Ohno. I wasn't a big fan of the finish, though, because it felt like it was disjointed from the way the rest of the match was. I understand the finish, which was elbows and Ohno tap into it, which I felt like he tapped too early. It should have milked a couple more elbows before tapping out. It was like 2 elbows and he's tapping. Meanwhile, Riddle's just still destroying him with these elbows. So I liked the finish. It just didn't feel like it matched with the rest of the match. I think it's safe to say that. Overall, how do I feel about this NXT TakeOver Phoenix? This was an excellent show. As usual, it was an excellent, excellent show. But there is room for improvement. There is room for improvement. And their WrestleMania weekend show is going to be stacked. It's going to be stacked, and they're going to kill it. But this was an excellent show. If I got to go 1 out of 5, I guess. If If I got to go 1 out of 5 on this one, I'm going 4.5. If I got to go on a scale of 10, I'm giving it an 8.5. Yeah, I'm giving it an 8.5. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I mean, my man, he putting his toes in his mouth and shit. That's kind of crazy. And also, my man getting kicked in the mush, and then 2 seconds later, you don't give a fuck about getting kicked in the face like that. Nah. Other than just those 2 things, man, this was an excellent fucking show, man. This show kind of made my dick hard. I had to end the stream because I was starting to get hard. This shit was good. It was really, really good show. All right, that's all I got for you guys. I will see you tomorrow for the Royal Rumble. Hey, finally, I got it right because I've been saying SummerSlam and WrestleMania all fucking night. I'll see you guys tomorrow for whatever that show is that I just said. And bye.